Okay. I'm just going to keep it straight with you. All right. I'm going to keep this as short as possible. All right. So the reason why that the vasatosaurus rex versus the indominus rex has completely changed the way how I animate. Because of their simplicity, I was able to have more room than usual. Because the last animation that all of you have been waiting for, as you know, is the which is part 2 of Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. And they don't take a little amount of space. No, they take up a lot of space, and it puts me in a situation where I am in a very tight situation. It's very uncomfortable, and sometimes it just never works out. And I kind of figured out a way to mitigate that now. Uh, well, not like the whole leg thing and blah blah blah, but other things. And the reason why that they just kind of fell short to the more simpler animation I've been working on recently is because I am able to fully do spacing, of course. Uh, spacing between scenes. All right, because constantly cutting to a different scene in the middle of a fight kind of looks bad, to be honest. So, especially like in more modern times, it just feels forced, just to save money, you know? Um, Money and time. So, because of that, I can actually space out a bit more, the animation to make scenes last way more longer and doesn't feel like it's like a choppy mess, which is the main problem of the first part of Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Like, it had at least maybe like 50 cuts. Like, at most. Right? Mainly because I never thought because if you try to animate with a true tween on like I do, because, well, first of all, I'm lazy as is making these animations to begin with. So if you start shitting on me for not animating the true way, then I just want to say, like, all right, congrats on trying to turn animation to a very profitable success. But the way how AI has been evolving lately, that you might have at least about 10 years left. So get fucking moving. If not, get out here. Let me hang out with the multi-billions that I shall have one day. Because I have an actual job. And it ain't gonna be this. So, yeah. Um, so yeah, and not only that, the true way of animating is what is the true way of animating? Like, okay, I'm getting off topic. Let's stay on topic. I'll probably talk about that later in a different video, including how I absolutely hate extremely detailed things. So yeah, I don't do the true way of animating. I say true with quotations. So yeah, now I'm able to. Not only that, tweening does have its benefits, believe it or not. Not just by look at late. I mean, come on, look at my animations and tell me that shit looks amateur. I know most of you can't make that. So shut the fuck up. But yeah, because it's a tool, all right, and because it's a tool, it has multiple thinks about it. Oh, especially because you can actually get a 20, you can make a full-on 24 frame animation out of a 8 frame or 8 frames per second. I discovered that. Of course, I don't go with 8 frames. I go with 12 frames, just to make that shit look more, natural. But if I'm going to make it like a shitty animation, I'm just going to go with 8 because, it's the nice middle ground. And not only that, if it is 8, not only that, you still have the choice of, using the other little piece of, yes, which is the tool for like slow motions or whatever. Fucking, it makes the the in between frames last a bit longer. But if you have it on a high enough, the high enough tween frames, you can actually make it go faster. I learned this and realized that is one hell of a useful tool. And I used it like a motherfucker. It is genuinely useful. And it literally saved me about because when I go into a situation where like a scene is like it looks terrible because it's slow, but if I try to shorten it, it looks equally bad. But using that tool, it gets into that in between, which makes it perfect. The way how I animate. But that was not the main reason. Like I said, the pacing. Now, I figured out a way to fix the pacing problem, because if you animate with tweening, when you cut a frame, or, end the animation and start up a second one with that same frame at the start, they kind of just stay in place for 1 millisecond. And if you're an animator, that fucking annoys you. And that's also one of my other problems. I'm a perfectionist. So, I figured out a way to fix this problem, literally deleting, or just I go into editing software. That's where I do nearly all of the sound effects, except for the punching sound effects, or blah, 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 the footsteps. All that is in Stick Notes because that makes it more easier to deal with. Except recently, because apparently there's a big glitch there. But just a simple shift will fix everything, so I don't really care. So I don't have to manually put each footstep in. Because that shit gets annoying really quickly. So, yeah. That's helpful. Very helpful. What am I going to say now? Right. So basically, I just, cut that one part, literally that one frame out of the 24 frames per second, where they just, it uses the same frame as the last frame of the last project. That sounds confusing as fuck unless you know what I'm talking about. So, I simply got rid of that part, and it runs smoothly like it never fucking happened, which I'm glad I figured that out. It would have been way more useful if I figured that more earlier, but you know what? It's better than never, alright? So yeah, that's, benefiting me, and I like it. So, I'm going to try to keep it like that. It makes things feel more better now. So, yeah. That's all I've got to say. Apparently the short explanation is almost fucking 10 minutes long, so I think I have nothing else to say. If I do, I'll make another video either tomorrow or the day next. Unless I, make the video about me ranting about extremely detailed shit and, other stuff, but I'll talk about that another day. Save that for topics. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. You heard me how it changed. Blah blah blah. It's almost 10 minutes. I'm gonna shut up now and I'm gonna end the video. See ya.